Okay. 14. 15. We're getting there. Okay, I just counted 15. Almost.
Almost.
Well, almost is relative. Hey, Sammy. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, 16. 16. Okay. We need 6 more. I know Erin is on her way. Katie's on her way.
Short and sweet. Bless you. John? Thank you. But you know you don't have to check anything. You're actually the old one.
Good evening, everyone. We do not have quorum yet. And seeing as it is 10 past, well, 8 past our start time, um, we're gonna talk about some stuff that don't require a quorum and magically hope that 3 board members walk through the door. So let's wish it into existence. Let us start with uh, okay. Hi everyone. Good evening. Julio Benia, Chair, Community Board 7. Welcome to our March meeting. While we wait for quorum, let us do some elected official and representative reports. And I'm gonna do them based on who I see in the room and on Zoom. Oh, that's fine. Let's start with Winnie from Councilmember Avila's office, and then followed by Francesca.
Wednesday, midweek, very cold week. It's
Pass you the
very cold
microphone.
today. I just have a few announcements from the council member's office. Hi, okay, now you can hear me. Hi, everyone. My name's Winnie. I work for Councilmember Alexa Aviles, who represents Sunset Park, Red Hook, and Diker Heights and Bensonhurst. And so we have a few upcoming things that we wanted to remind you of. Number one, we have every month we host the VFW in our office to support with veterans getting services. So if you have any veterans in your life that need help with benefits, health services, education benefits, home loan program, or state and local benefits, please come by our office. It's the first Monday of every month, but you can call our office to set up an appointment, and I'll leave these flyers outside. Additionally, we've been doing a lot of street tree care events in Sunset Park, particularly along the Second Avenue Greenway, to try to make our trees healthier and keep our streets cleaner. And so if you're interested in volunteering, we have another event coming up Saturday, March 28th, which will be exciting. We're partnering with Big Reuse and Plant Exchange, but I hope that some of you will come participate and help us keep our streets clean. Additionally, we're mid budget hearing right now. As you all know, the city budget process requires that the mayor first put out a preliminary budget, then the city council hears every item on the preliminary budget through committee hearings. That's the current process we're in before we move on to further processes of the budget. Today, I will note that we had a public safety hearing, and the council member who is the lead sponsor of the How Many Stops Act, which requires reporting on demographics, like racial demographics, around how many people the police stop. Originally, when we brought this legislation forward, there was a lot of people saying that it would make it the act of the police a lot more difficult. But today, the commissioner said that it has not changed anything about how the police operate, which is great. Now we have data and we're able to report on it, and it has not stopped things from happening on the day-to-day that they said it might. We recently had a hearing on the New York City Know Your Rights Act, which the council member is sponsoring. It would be a bill that would put signage in all of our government buildings about people's rights and legal rights around dealing with immigration enforcement. And we currently have 26 co-sponsors, which is great. So it looks like that will hopefully be moving forward and be clearing up people's understanding of their rights and safety in our city and our sanctuary city protections. But as always, if you need services from our office, please call us, please email us, please stop by. Our office is on 44th and 4th Avenue at 4417 4th Avenue. And feel free to reach out to us about anything you might need. Thank you.
Thank you. Francesca from Senator Gennardis's office. And then from there, we will take attendance because we have quorum.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Francesca from State Senator Andrew Gennardis's office. My few, and I'll make it brief, fun updates from Planet Albany this month are we have the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act that was actually passed in 2019. We're finally getting more progress. So the New York State Board of Regents has adopted Senator Gennardis's proposal to include climate education as a part of New York statewide, not just citywide, K through 12 education curriculum. So we're really excited for future New Yorkers across the state to learn more about how we can be climate leaders and protect our communities. As well as this budget season, the Senate just passed, or the Senate majority just passed their one house, and we are working incredibly hard to get our priorities passed and properly funded. And this includes many things, but I'll be brief. We really want to lower utility costs for everyday New Yorkers. Most of my constituent cases at the moment are Con Ed bills that are way too high. Demand delivery charges, way too high, keeping small businesses from staying in business for 10, 20 more years. And then also just in general, we need to think long-term about energy affordability. And so we're prioritizing that in a lot of our conversations this year for the budget. We're really excited to expand access to childcare with 3K as well. So that'll be hopefully funded through the state budget. We're feeling pretty strong about that, of course. We also want to make sure that we expand access to affordable housing and protect New Yorkers and our healthcare, because we're having a lot of federal threats to our healthcare. Especially, we need substantially increased funding for reproductive and maternal healthcare programs. So we're urging and directing the Department of Health to maximize our state resources along with those federal resources, whatever we have for however long we have them. That way we can maintain affordable healthcare coverage and minimize potential Medicaid losses. As far as fun events go, I forgot to grab a flyer with me. They're all in the hallway though. On March 25th, so next Wednesday, we're having an unclaimed funds event at our office from 12 to 3. Unfortunately, I need appointments, so please give our office a call and I can take an appointment down. I have 5 left, I believe, so plenty. You'll have about 15 minutes with our Brooklyn rep for the comptroller's office for the unclaimed funds, and she'll go through everything with you. We just need folks to bring in any documentation you may have that'll support that those funds are actually yours. Or you can call me and I could search the lookup for you to make life easy. We're also having the Omnivan at our office on Monday, March 30th. They'll be outside from about like 10 to 2, possibly 10 to 3 if there's a line. And New York Connects will be outside to help seniors with services and connect any seniors to any services that they may need. And then we also have our biannual super popular Shred Fest. That'll be on May 9th. Flyers in the hallway. If you need anything, come grab me. Thank you. Or Jonathan. Do you?
So, can you tell us more about what the senator is thinking in terms of Medicaid, given that part of the population would be out of coverage starting in July, and then the second part of it would be on January 2027? Can you talk more about that, please?
We definitely want to make sure through like the New York State marketplace that anybody who needs healthcare coverage has healthcare coverage, especially like no children or no pregnant woman left behind, so that you can have the proper care throughout your pregnancy and that your child has the proper care for the beginning of their life. These are things that we're still kind of aggressively fighting on in the budget. But as far as it really depends on what we're gonna need to reallocate based off of what happens in the federal government at the moment, but we're really keen on making sure that we have the proper responses for it, and if we do need to dig into state reserves or any sort of background funds that is already allocated to the Department of Health, that those will be utilized to help folks that are on Medicaid so that nobody goes without health insurance. Because if we don't have a healthy population, what do we have? So ongoing, wish I had a real response for you, but it is something that we're completely focused on. Anybody?
Question from Jerry?
This is regarding the energy bill going up. I know the federal level used to have credit to do solar. Is the state planning to do credit for residents to have solars? You look into that.
The main focus right now is to make sure that we can keep up energy credits for senior citizens so that senior citizens don't have an incredibly high energy bill, especially because that they have a fixed income. But we would like to see solar credits expanded, and that is something that in every conversation, this budget, next budget, out of budget, is something that we're focused on because definitely want to promote using other forms of renewable energy. Thanks, Kim.
Since we have quorum, got you on the list. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And now I turn to Maria for the roll call.
Good evening, everyone. I will be doing roll call. Those who are on Zoom, if you hear your name, please unmute yourself, say here or present, and mute yourself once again. Thank you. Diana Aguilar. Grisela Amador. Thank you. Damian Andrade. Jalia Bailey. Joan Body. Thank you. Gladys Bruno. Jerry Chan. Thank you. Esteban Chavez. Thank you. Richard Cador. Thank you. Carrie Conte. Maria Cruz. Danny DeBear. Thank you. John DeLuper. Thank you. Gabina Morales Escamilla. Thank you. Cynthia Felix.
Present.
Thank you. You don't count towards quorum. Matthew Florkowicz. Thank you. Jamie Freed. Thank you. Kin Fung. Thank you. Xiomara Garcia. Thank you. Diana Gonzalez. Thank you. Hector Gonzalez. Tylisha Gonzalez. Thank you. Nicole Huang. Thank you. Nicholas Jackson. Thank you. Dan Kaminsky. Thank you. Jeremy Kaplan.
Here.
Thank you. You don't count towards quorum. Erin Keith. Thank you. Wei Ko.
Here.
Thank you. You don't count towards quorum. Paul Mack.
I'm here.
Thank you. You don't
I
count.
was here.
Paul, thank you. You don't count towards quorum. Hector, I acknowledge you. You don't count towards quorum. Antoinette Martinez. Jonathan Martinez. Thank you. Rosie Mota.
Present.
Thank you. You don't count towards quorum. Julio Pena III.
Present.
Thank you. Michael Pepin. Karen Rolnick. Thank you. Joanna Romero.
Present.
Thank you. You don't count towards quorum. Patricia Ruiz.
Here.
Thank you. Damaris Santiago. Samuel Sierra. Thank you. Kalina Surma. Thank you. Michael Tom. Faye Walker. Thank you. Catherine Walsh. Thank you. And Cesar Zuniga. Roll call's been called.
Moving into the adoption of the agenda with one small amendment, there will be a vote required for the Transportation Committee. Is there a motion to adopt as amended? Motion by Sam, is there a second? Second by Karen. Is there any objection to adopting the agenda as amended? Seeing or hearing none, so adopted. Moving on to the adoption of the minutes from the February 25th, 2026 board meeting. Is there a motion to adopt? Motion by Karen. Is there a second? Second by Sam. Is there any objection to adopting the minutes of February 25th? Seeing or hearing none, so adopted. Moving on to public comment. This is for a member of the public who wishes to speak before our board on anything or an item on the agenda. Is there a member of the public? Please come on up and you'll have 3 minutes. Sorry, can you pass the microphone?
Hi, everyone. I'm Trey McGee. I'm with Target Margin Theater, 232 52nd Street, just down the road. Hope you're all doing well. I just have a quick announcement, and you'll forgive me, I need to head out a little bit early today for an iftar dinner, but our show is happening right now. It is called This Is Real. It's a really fun, kind of crazy, chaotic show that is sort of addressing the chaos of our time, really. These pamphlets are all out in the lobby, and they include a special discount code for you, our neighbors. You'll find it on the back of the pamphlet, along with a really lovely note.
Directly into the mic.
Yes. There's a lovely letter on the back of this written by our company and community manager. Please take a look. It has a discount code for all of you. That's just for Sunset Park locals. It's a special code just for this neighborhood. So please consider coming. It's going to be playing now until April 4th is when it closes. We really hope to see you there. And that's everything from me. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Sir, come on up.
Good evening, everybody. My name is David Kupferberg, and I am a member of Passengers United. Passengers United is a Section 501c3 nonprofit, nonpartisan transportation advocacy group. Go to www.passengersunited.org for details on how to donate and the counterproposal of the MTA Brooklyn Bus Network redesign. The Brooklyn Bus Network redesign draft plan released December 2022 received an overwhelming negative response. In fact, none of Brooklyn 18 community boards support the draft plan. We think that the MTA should delay the proposed final plan in favor of a new draft plan. At the same time, the MTA should invest 1% of New York City Transit's operating budget, or $126 million, for the Brooklyn Bus Network redesign. It seems that the MTA has heeded the warnings. On November 13th, 2025, the MTA removed most references to the next iteration of the redesign. The next iteration will not be released until spring 2026 at the earliest. Nonetheless, Brooklyn's community boards and ultimately the Borough Board should take a proactive approach to the MTA's lack of outreach. In the hallway at the back, there are 2 documents: who we are, an abridged version of the counterproposal, and our critique of bus stop balancing. What is bus stop balancing? Bus stop balancing is a mindless implementation of standard practices by the MTA and New York City DOT without consideration of the effects of their action. There is no correlation between bus speed and passenger travel time. If a bus route has many bus stops, but only stops a few of them, the elimination of bus stops has little, if any, effect on bus speed. Hence, there is little benefit to their elimination. Potential passengers, however, must walk further on average to reach a bus stop, increasing passenger travel time. This also significantly increases the chance of a missed connection. For infrequent service, a missed connection can also discourage bus usage. And if there are half dozen adjacent lightly utilized stops, the elimination of some stops could result in a bus stopping at stop A instead of stop B, saving no travel time. Bus stop balancing must always be analyzed on a case-by-case basis in order to increase bus speed without significant negative impacts on passenger travel time. Such analyses have to be based on a variety of factors, not exclusively bus usage. No formulas. In conclusion, there must be a moratorium on the elimination of bus stops until fair and unbiased borough-wide studies are complete. Bus stop balancing has demonstrated that the MTA and New York City DOT are only concerned about bus speed, not passenger travel time. They are pretending that they will make improvements in speed travel. It is dishonest and wrong. They cannot be trusted. Thank you.
Any other member of the public for public comment? And if you're on Zoom, please raise your hand. Take your time.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I'm suffering from a case of sciatic. Anybody who had it knows what kind of pain it is. So I'm sorry if I'm bending over. I'm Dr. Schindler and from Tulip Behavioral Health. I've attended the last 4 community board meetings. The last one was in Zoom. And I wouldn't miss this. It would have to be much more than sciatica to have me stop, because I'm starting to find a lot of friends here, people that I see, and this is a great community, and I'm so glad to be joining. I presented in November, the first meeting, saying that we're opening a behavioral health center. We're 649 39th Street. And then about 6 weeks ago, we actually opened our doors, and the community response has been terrific. I just want to remind everybody right now, I put brochures outside, so you'll see Tulip Behavioral Health. We pride ourselves on quick, responsive answers. We see people from basically age 3, cradle to grave, and let's just hope we all age well. But this is for seniors, this is for children, this is for families, for couples, for relationships, you name it. I want to thank Jonathan and Rosie for allowing me to present to the Education and Health Committee, Health and Education Committee. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, in the winter, a lot of things were on Zoom because of the weather, the blizzards, and so on and so forth. But I just want everyone to know that we are now fully open, and we have therapists. This is therapists, social workers, licensed mental health counselors, and we have a full psychiatry staff. We speak English, we speak Spanish, we speak Chinese, and other languages as well. And whatever it is that you need, you just let us know. I want to personally invite everyone. I've said it many times. Some people have taken me up on the offer. Please come. You're going to see something that you've never seen before. We are trying to reimagine behavioral health services, or as we used to call it, mental health services. I'm a licensed psychologist. If my staff does not get back to you the same day, I want you to call back or just email me. We pride ourselves on getting back to you the same day. Okay, we may not always have exactly what you need, but that's the way we've built a reputation. So I just want to thank the community for everything. Thank the board here for having me here. I plan to come and really gaining a lot of friends here. It's so nice to see familiar faces. We will do everything and anything we can to help you with whatever. And guess what? We all have issues sometimes. I had surgery in my hand as well, but we all have our issues, and our goal is to help you, deal with those issues. And again, come back to me and say, Doc, you promise you're going to be responsive. What happened? It won't take more than, if you call us the night before, it'll be by the next day or so. We will get back to you and try to work together. That's a promise, and take me up on my offer. Okay, thank you so much. That's it. Just wanted to remind everybody.
And we'll move to Zoom. Allison Wong will unmute you. Oh, there you go. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening. My name is Allison Wong. I'm the Assistant Branch Manager at the Sunset Park Library. I just wanted to highlight a few upcoming programs of the library that we think would be of interest to the community. The first program is a nutrition awareness workshop taking place this Friday, the 20th at 1 p.m. It's called Building Healthy Habits and will help participants discover a balanced way of eating as part of a healthy lifestyle. We'll explore topics such as how many fruits and vegetables should you be eating? What are the benefits of eating a variety of foods? And what are some easy ways to add them to your everyday meals? RSVP is required. This program will also be followed by a Know Your Rights workshop. The second program is a free concert at the library taking place on Saturday, March 28th at 1 p.m. It's called Mariela Gonzalez and Friends. This is in partnership with Music for Autism, which provides free, interactive, autism-friendly concerts for individuals and their families. This concert will be in bilingual English-Spanish, so if there's any families who want to come, please do. And the last program is an energy efficiency workshop on Thursday, April 9th at 6 p.m. in partnership with the New York Power Authority and New York State Senator Andrew Gennardis. Learn how to become more energy conscious by turning off your lights, programming your thermostat, and learning about eco-friendly heating and cooling practices. This workshop will also cover how to understand your energy bills because that can be a little confusing sometimes. Participants will receive one free energy conservation kit per household. First come, first served. RSVP is also required. I will drop links in the chat for anyone who's interested in learning more about any of these programs or who wants to register. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on, sorry, Marie, can you pull up? Alexa Orr?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Great, thank you. So this is Alexa Orr. I'm the branch manager of the Windsor Terrace Library. And in addition to some of our ongoing programs, I just wanted to highlight one. We are going to be holding a developmental disability resource fair. This is a partnership between our Inclusive Services Department and a community partner, Brooklyn Family Support Service Council, where folks can come in and pose questions about services and programs for people with disabilities. We ask that you not wear perfume, cologne, or other scented products while using this space because of the sensory issues that people may have. It will take place at our branch located at 160 East 5th Street on Friday, April 10th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I will also drop a link in the chat for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's all the hands I see on Zoom, but I believe I have one more in the room. Coming up.
Okay.
Could you speak into the microphone, please?
Sorry, sorry.
Thank you.
It's my first time here. Please bear with me.
No worries.
Esme, and I recently moved to the community. I'm on 26th Street. And the reason why I'm here tonight is this is sort of a bag, a plea for the assistance from the community. Our neighborhood is having a serious ongoing issue with a venue called BK Loft 26, which operates directly across the street from my residence. And what I mean by this is every weekend there are raging parties from around 8, 9 p.m. till about 6, 8 a.m. in the morning. Drunk people outside screaming, fighting, yelling, throwing up, bottles all over the place. Last week, I met with the venue owners, and I thought that we were going to be able to come to a amicable solution. But during the issue, this is a every weekend kind of thing, and during last Saturday when the issue was going on, I was calling them, I was texting them, and literally they just lied to me and then just flat out ignored me. Dozens and dozens of 311 complaints and 911 calls have been placed. They have all gone ignored. I do not understand why. We have videos. When I say we, I mean the neighbors, the entire community. I'm here speaking on their behalf tonight because we don't know what else to do. Why are we not allowed to sleep during the weekends? Why are we not safe coming home at night during the weekends with these drunk people outside. So I'm here tonight to please, if anyone has any sort of assistance or guidance of what we can do, we have all the 301 complaints, the videos, everything, how we're being ignored. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please make sure that the board staff has your email address so we can reach out to you, okay? Either Maria or Natasha in our office. Mhm.
Yeah, we have a couple of people.
Actually,
So, okay, so Deborah followed by Alexis.
Please unmute yourself.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Deborah Hurden. I'm a community member and a member of Families for Safe Streets. I wanted to just say a few words about the implementation of Sammy's Law and neighborhood slow zones. I am very much a proponent of these two tools we have to make our streets safer. One of the reasons is because I myself was hit on my bicycle 10 years ago when I was crossing Fort Hamilton Parkway by McDonald Avenue at that corner, and I was hit by a very slow moving small school bus. So the reason why I was able to survive and recover is because the bus was moving very slowly. So I was knocked off my bike. I had to get some therapy for my injury, but I recovered. So the idea that cars will slow down is a very important one. So Sammy's Law is going to allow us to lower speed limits as we see fit in the district, and I think it's very fitting in our district with so many school kids, with so many senior citizens, that we would be able to make it safer by lowering the speed limit. There's other tools we have as well, including what you've seen in the streets, some redesigns of the streets, and also not allowing through traffic. That's another idea that is really wonderful to keep through traffic off of our streets, which we have a lot of, including a lot of truck traffic. So there's many different tools, and reducing speed is a great one that we can utilize right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Alexis?
Please unmute yourself.
Hi, thank you so much. My name's Alexis Ficus. I am I'm an organizer with Families for Safe Streets, and I just want to add to what Debbie was saying about how important these low traffic neighborhoods and slow speeds are for making our community safe. We know that speed kills, and while changing the speed limit from 25 to 20 miles an hour doesn't make a big difference on a driver, it does make a really big difference if someone is hit by a vehicle. Unfortunately, it's just physics that the faster that a vehicle is going, the more likely it is to kill someone. So really appreciate the Transportation Committee's time to discuss Sammy's Law last week, and really hope that the board will support this as a really good safety measure for the community. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Alexis. Seeing no other hands, we will move on to committee reports. First up, our Parks and Environment Committee, which we'll hear from Esteban.
How's it going, everyone? Esteban Chavez, the Vice Chair of the Parks and Environment Committee. We met last Monday. We had two presentations. The first was from NYC Parks, and the second was Greenwood Cemetery. For NYC Parks, we met with Jim Morris. He presented on capital projects currently going on in CB7. The first one was an update on the Sunset Park Rec Center, which I think signage just went up this week. But because of delays with DOB inspections, the rec center won't be open until the end of the year. So there's a little bit more delays on that construction project. The pool will still remain open for the season, but the rec center won't be open until fall 2026. Greenwood Playground, they have finished construction on the handball courts, and they're currently working on installing 2 pickleball courts. Demick Playground construction will start in the fall of this year. The next one is Peña Herrera Playground. Construction for that is going to start in spring 2027. There was delays in that construction because they got more funding to reconstruct the comfort station. Gonzalo Palencia Playground, construction will begin in spring of 2027, alongside Peña Herrera. Martin Luther Playground will undergo partial reconstruction of the playground equipment. That is set to start in spring 2028. There's clearly a lot of capital investment going into parks right now. And then the last one that they presented on was John Allen Payne. That is a new capital project that is being funded by State DOT. State DOT will start a 5-year project on the viaduct at the Belt Parkway entrance there. So with that, they are investing $2 million into reconstructing part of John Allen Payne Playground, specifically the part that is under the viaduct. It will be closed for 2 years, but they will be installing skate park features, pickleball courts, adult fitness equipment, updating the basketball courts, and then there's a small swing set that they will also be reconstructing as part of that project. They did reassure us that the park will only be closed for 2 years, even though that construction project will last for 5. Sarah Evans from Greenwood Cemetery came to present on their tree inventory that they just completed. So they have a new online portal, greenwood.com/tree finder, which catalogs all of the trees within the cemetery. So if you wanted to see and find out about all of their trees, it's definitely a great resource. Right now, they are working on increasing their tree canopy. So they have a goal of 35% of tree canopy, which means they're going to be installing a lot new trees over the next couple of years and planting them closer together. And then the last announcement they had, the greenhouse will open on April 18th, which is on 25th and 5th. I went through that really quickly. And then, any questions?
Question from Gabino? John, can I ask? Thank you so much.
Just real quick about the Emick Playground 34th Street. I didn't hear about that. Just any information on that and the status of that construction.
Yeah, it went through a couple of visioning sessions, and it's set to start in the fall. They've been working with this fall. They've been working with Sunset Park High on kind of how they want to see that envisioned.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you so much.
Got 2 more things.
Go for it.
The first is Diana and I will be presenting at a Parks and Open Space conference for the community board. So we just want to ask the people of the community to send what your concerns are and what improvements you want to see with parks and open space in the district. So you can email those directly to the board, and we'll take that feedback with us to that conference. And then the second is we do have a Parks Committee meeting on Wednesday of next week, where we'll be presenting from New York City Parks on their tree program. And then there's a presentation on a potential public art installation at Sunset Park.
Question from Pat.
Is there a flyer where you guys will be presenting? And if there is, could you share that with the community board? And any questions could be sent from that.
Yeah, I think they have a small presentation deck that we can send over.
That would be great. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Moving on to transportation. Katie Walsh. No problem.
Oh, good evening. And we had a very big agenda, so I needed my laptop. So last week we met, we had a couple agenda items. The first one, so hopefully if you had a chance to look at the minutes, if not, would invite you to go through them. We heard from a neighbor who has been organizing himself. He also has a child who goes to school in the area, but this was the community feedback on the streets and traffic and transportation adjacent to K280, MS442, and the Bug School. So this is 19th and 20th Street around 10th Avenue and Prospect Park West. This is a follow-on to issues that have been going on around the school, around the Bishop Ford campus for a while. And so we heard directly from Colby Black, who reported on a year ago when there had been a walkthrough with DOT, where there had been a walkthrough with elected officials and talking about, the different challenges that they were facing and some of the kind of tiny band-aids that were put on with signage, basically saying it hasn't addressed the issue, and it really, we absolutely need to have a response that is more of a corridor-wide, a street improvement plan-wide approach to dealing with this. So he came, he shared, and he asked us for support in amplifying this to the new DOT commissioner, Mike Flynn, and the office. And they have already, many of the neighbors and parents and surrounding area have already talked through a lot of potential solutions. So they gave us a full list. So we heard from him, asked some follow-up questions, and then took that and have put it together in a note that has actually already gone out to DOT today, and recommending some of the specific improvements, but then calling on a coordinated approach. There's no vote for that, but I just wanted to let you know there's action on that. I'm going to jump around. I'm just going to say that there was a committee discussion on this event that we have talked about doing. So the Greenway portion between Hamilton Avenue and 29th Street on 3rd Avenue. They're still doing the final touches, but if you go down to 3rd Avenue, you can see the Greenway. It's on the sidewalk portion. It's the way it's designed. Has some green infrastructure of sorts, and has a bike lane for passing. And we want to acknowledge that there's this new piece of infrastructure. There's a lot more things we'd like to see with it, but we want to acknowledge that this new piece of infrastructure is in our district. So we're talking about planning an event, and we're looking at doing this in early May. So we talked about it in the committee. We've talked about this now several times. We brought it to the board. We had a meeting. Now it would have been a month ago. We had a meeting with community-based organizations to get their ideas of what this event could look like. We also want to use it as a chance to call for the 3rd Avenue Street Improvement Plan to actually happen that had been promised in the last administration, and 4 years have gone by. And so call on the new DOT commissioner, call on DOT to actually make 3rd Avenue safe. So this event is sort of combined. Greenway infrastructure opening, 3rd Avenue, fix 3rd Avenue. And we're looking at early May. The community-based organizations gave us some ideas. Now what we're going to do is just try and find a date that can work for everybody, and then we'll inform the board. I want to just be very clear about like what this event is and what it's not. So what we're coalescing around is that we're going to invite people at a certain day and time, which still has to get determined, to meet at Hamilton Avenue. And you can, however your mobility calls you. So if you want to be on a bike, if you want to walk, however you want to move between Hamilton Avenue on 3rd Avenue to 29th Street, there'll be a sort of like a train, like a parade that's loud, whatever, colorful, asking for 3rd Avenue to be safe, celebrating the Greenway, and then we will coalesce around 26th Street and 3rd Avenue, invite people to speak, and then use that as our moment. And that's the range of what the ambition and the event is. So just to kind of say that's where we've coalesced around. So next steps, we're going to find good times that work for everybody from some of the organizations we worked with in this last call, the elected officials, and then we'll come back to you and we would invite you if you can make it in early May for this great opportunity that Community Board 7 is convening. Okay, so we had 2 resolutions. Again, I'm also going to flip the order in how I talk about these, but Sammy's Law, so we had 2 speakers who came and spoke about this, but we had Sammy's Law is legislation that had, oh, and I'm going to invite Jamie up because Jamie had worked on the resolution. So if there are questions that you can be accessible and available, but Sammy's Law, which had passed, was a child who was killed several years ago, but this piece of legislation basically allowing for, it gave authority and permission for the city to be able to lower the speed limit. And as we heard, speeding is what can kill you, right? Size of car and speed is really what happens. So basically in this resolution that was passed unanimously, which is again in your minutes, but I just want to very succinctly, I don't think I'll actually go through all of the details of the whereas, but they're there for you. But basically the resolution was that Brooklyn Community Board 7 requests that DOT would lower the speed limit of all the streets in our district with fewer than 3 lanes of traffic. So if it has fewer than 3 lanes of traffic, to reduce it to 20 miles an hour. So the city, just so everyone knows, city is 25 right now, but basically calling on supporting Sammy's Law, that we would be supportive of both having this in our district to 20 miles an hour, and that citywide we support it to be 20 miles an hour. And that and then the resolution says that if DOT determines not to do that in our district or in the city, that they explain why they've decided not to do that. So that was the resolution. It passed unanimously. And I'm looking for it to be passed here. So it's on the floor for discussion.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion passed by the committee to implement Sammy's Law in Community District 7? Okay. 1 second.
I do support the resolution, but my problem is, right, the law is created for people that actually follow the rules, right? What happened to the one that don't follow the rule, the drunk drivers? Okay, what if mopeds, the e-bikes, this e-scooter that go up above 20 mile, 30 mile per hour, can we add it in that too, not just vehicle?
Well, just Sammy's Law doesn't, I believe it's only motor vehicles that are impacted in terms of their speed limit. The city did reduce the speed limit for e-bikes and bicycles from 18 miles to 15 miles per hour. And the NYPD is responsible for enforcement. Whether that happens or not, that's a different conversation. But that is a separate policy, a separate law.
I know I saw something that NYPD would not enforce e-bikes or scooters anymore. So, but I just want to add it in there right today. I don't know how true it is, right?
I think the change that they announced was that they wouldn't give them a certain kind of summons, but they're still getting ticketed. It's just a change in the kind of summons that they get.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Right now, the citywide legal speed limit for e-bikes and e-scooters is 15 miles per hour, and for cars and trucks is 25. So e-bikes and e-scooters that you see speeding are in violation of the city law. So we're just asking the car and truck speed limit to be reduced as well. And I had the same question as you, which is that we know that reducing speed saves lives, but does reducing speed limits reduce speed and save lives? And there was one study that was published by like the University of Athens that looked kind of worldwide at speed limits reduced to 30 kilometers per hour, which is about 18 point something miles per hour, very similar to what we're asking for here. And their conclusion was it reduced mortality by about 40%, just the speed limit intervention, which is what we're asking for here.
Thank you. Any other questions on the motion? Gabino? Just wait for the microphone.
So, this is just to clarify a little bit about motor vehicles. I think mopeds are included as a motor vehicle. I think the only issue is vehicles that do not have license plates. That's the issue. Like vehicles that don't have license plates, and it might be a different conversation, but we need to push for something that includes scooters that don't have licenses and bicycles like e-bikes. But motor vehicles do include mopeds.
Thank you for that clarification. That's an important point to note.
With that in mind, I don't know if you can see this, but here's some stats from 2022, 2023, and 2024. If you guys can see these bar graphs, the lighter bar is pedestrian injuries from cars and trucks, and the darker bar is pedestrian injuries from, let's see, e-scooters, gas mopeds, motorbikes, and one-wheels and bicycles combined in dark. And so you can see, probably even from across the room, that the pedestrian injuries attributable to cars and trucks really far outweigh pedestrian injuries attributable to scooters, mopeds, which are a concern, a legitimate concern. But I think we also should target our efforts to what's really injuring people the most.
Thank you. Jonathan?
Hello. I just want to have more clarification in terms of who will be sending this to.
DOT, so the Department of Transportation. Yeah.
I would like to send it to the local representatives as well for them to be aware of the situation and to have an extra support.
Great.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cam, board members only. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Go ahead. Just wait for the microphone. Can you repeat the question in the microphone?
I just want to ask, does anyone in this room have the experience of driving 20 miles per hour?
I do, yes.
Because I know this really slow. Because once you get the whole city driving like that, I don't know.
So I did the math, and the kind of entire length of our community district, from the Brooklyn Army Terminal to the Prospect Park Tennis Center, like the longest possibility that you could drive is about 5 miles on local roads. And so doing that at 25 miles per hour, the current speed limit would take 12 minutes, and at 20 miles per hour would take 15 minutes. And I think you can afford an extra 3 minutes in your life to save a few other people's lives.
Thank you. I would like to move this to a vote. Is there any objection to approving the resolution in favor of Sammy's Law in CD7? Seeing or hearing none, it is so adopted.
Thank you. We have one more resolution. This one is a little bit different. So the low traffic neighborhoods is a design approach to, so something we just talked about is speed. And another aspect of safety and traffic and transportation is design. So how the streets are designed and what that looks like. So again, all of these like very specific details are in the resolution and have very also specific points around supporting the case for this. I'm jumping straight to what the resolution says, which is that, so we have this full presentation of what is a low traffic neighborhood. It's, again, how to slow traffic. So separate from the speed limits, just like what are the design things that you can do to slow traffic overall. If you've come to a transportation meeting before, you know that Department of Transportation talks about their design toolkit. So they say like, here are the types of design interventions, here are the types of design tactics that New York City uses. And basically the low traffic neighborhood takes a bunch of those things that New York City already does and kind of just puts them together in and around an important area. What I will say is that we started the meeting talking about the Bishop Ford campus and it's 3 now, but there will be 4 schools there, and all of the different activity that's happening. That's kind of an example. Maybe if a low traffic neighborhood design could be put on, how that could potentially support the safety of people moving around while still also taking into account through traffic and transportation. Maybe that area is not a good candidate, but just using that as an example of important places where we could do this. So the resolution says that we would support, we would send this to DOT and we would say, Community Board 7 has support of what exploring what a pilot program could look like for low traffic neighborhoods, and we would request that DOT considers Community Board 7, if they consider low traffic neighborhoods as a concept, that they would consider Community Board 7, right? I think we talk a lot about this issue in the context of our neighborhood being last or behind or on the back foot when a lot of things happen at DOT. And so we're saying to consider Sunset Park as a part of this. So that was a resolution. Again, it's introduced low traffic neighborhoods. The request is please, if DOT considers it, please consider Sunset Park. Community Board 7, sorry, Community Board 7, Sunset Park, Windsor Terrace. I need to correct that. So that's it. And that passed unanimously too.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the resolution in favor of low traffic neighborhoods in CD7? Dana Gonzalez?
I corrected myself. I said Windsor Terrace, Community Board 7.
And you mentioned Bishop Ford campus, my neighbor. In our community district, we have a lot of schools that are adjacent to highways, and that's a perfect example of one. So had we really dug into it all, how we would kind of square these conflicting issues, because people coming off the Prospect Expressway drive like absolute maniacs.
Maybe I'll take that question, I'll separate them. So just with the Bishop Ford campus and those 4 schools, I think that was when we started the meeting, we said we sent this to DOT. That's one of the main things we said. People are speeding off the highway and they're speeding right into children and kids and parents and people going to school. So that was the request. And then on this particular resolution, do I know personally whether or not that area is the best for something like this? I think this is where we get to say, DOT, this is your job where you can look at these design interventions. So not sure if that's exact fit, but yeah.
Jonathan?
Can you talk more about the timeline? When is the decision expected to be done?
We're basically just supporting the concept and asking them to consider it. So they haven't, DOT has not said whether they're looking at low traffic neighborhoods, whether they're looking at our district or anything. It's more just kind of getting the concept out. And I'm seeing that we have a representative from the Brooklyn Borough President's office. And I know that this is something that the Brooklyn Borough President is also thinking about, this concept of low traffic neighborhoods and how it can be applied. And so this again kind of comes back to this idea of if this is going to be introduced in this new administration, we're waving the flag and saying we have a lot of issues here. Come to Community Board 7 and engage us before you go to maybe another community board.
But seeing as how long we have waited for the Third Avenue Safety Improvement Project, I would like to be optimistic, but I'm not going to hold my breath on DOT. Any other question or comment from board members? Okay. Is there any objection to approving the resolution in favor of low traffic neighborhoods in Community District 7? Seeing or hearing none, it is so adopted.
Now hog the mic for 1 more minute, 60 seconds. And I just want to say, yesterday there was, and people, should be paying attention to what's going on. Down at Brooklyn Army Terminal, there's this big build out that EDC has been doing of climate and climate innovation center. So just look up Brooklyn Army Terminal Climate Center because they've been having these workshops and these convenings, and it's being included in the community board newsletters. We should pay attention to what's happening because this is a really big investment by the city and the state in our district on the working waterfront. This community board has been on the record that we want this to continue to be a working waterfront. And so it's important to engage and show up. And I just want to thank Sam Sierra, who then joined the session that happened yesterday on micromobility, and spoke about the Community Board 7, the work we've been trying to do on last mile trucking facilities, the work we've been trying to do on Third Avenue, and really bringing a community voice, community board voice to the discussion. I joined the first session that they had done on this topic, which was on using the water. And I just kind of want to put this out there, like, please go to the sessions. And I think like having the community board members engage in this, so people, as they're meeting, it's a lot of industry people, and it's a lot of like tech, and it's a lot of, it's just good that people are engaging. And there's going to be there's a lot of money that's happening. So I just want to like really put this on people's radars that we need to be kind of paying attention to what's going on. And then the last is that our next transportation committee meeting is going to be on April 7th, and it's about the IBX, which is the huge investment and build out that's going to start from the water and right be the transit, the train line that goes around the neighborhood. MTA is coming, so that's on April 7th. And we also have Greenwood Cemetery. The former deputy mayor for the city, Mira Joshi, is now the head of Greenwood Cemetery, and she herself is going to present to talk about a greenway line that could be around Greenwood Cemetery. So come on April 7th. Thanks.
Ooh, Katie. Yeah. Give her due. Moving on to our second roll call for anyone who missed the first one.
Okay, so I will be calling the names of those board members that weren't present with the original roll call. Diana Aguilar. Damian Andrade. Thank you. Jalia Bailey. Gladys Bruno. Carrie Conte. Maria Cruz. Antoinette Martinez. Michael Pepin. Damaris Santiago. Michael Tom. Thank you. And Cesar Zuniga. Second roll call done.
Moving on to our elected official reports. And I'm going to start with folks on Zoom. I'll start with Jessica Bravo from Congress Member Goldman's office, followed by Sean Girl, Assembly Member Carroll's office. Yeah, Jessica Bravo.
Okay, Jessica, you can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Yep, loud and clear.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Jessica Bravo, a caseworker for Rep. Goldman's office. In terms of updates on the federal level, Rep. Goldman introduced very recently the Enhanced Cybersecurity for SNAP Act legislation to strengthen security protections for EBT cards. Basically, the bill would require the U.S. Department of Agriculture to modernize cybersecurity standards and provide funding for its states to transition SNAP cards away from the magnetic strip to chip-enabled cards. The congressman also continues conducting congressional oversight at 26 Federal Plaza and MDC. He has requested information on detainees' conditions and making sure that they have access to essential services. As we continue hearing reports that detainees have experienced issues accessing medical care, access to legal counsel. So also I wanted to share that I wanted to inform you guys if there are any cases involving individuals who you may know of that may be currently held at MDC. Please let me know. I will make sure to share my email in the chat so I can flag for the team, as the congressman will continue conducting congressional oversight, again, both at Federal Plaza and at MDC. I also want to share with everyone that we continue having mobile office hours. We will be having our next mobile office hour session in Sunset Park this next Thursday, March 26th, from 12 to 4 p.m. at Homecrest Community Services, which is at 901 60th Street, I believe. We also had one more mobile office hours session today, actually, at the Brooklyn Public Library. We're gonna try to continue having these every third Wednesday of the month. So since the community board meeting will happen after in April, so we're trying to have our next mobile office hours at the public library on April 14th from 11 to 3 p.m. We're still coordinating those dates, but I will make sure to keep you all posted. And share the final date with everyone. Additionally, I wanted to share that UA3 is offering opportunities to assist other like organizations or churches or community organizations in general with food donations for their community members. I believe they offer fresh produce as well as prepared meals, for example, meals from like Trader Joe's and um, stuff like that. So if anyone is interested or everyone knows of someone that might be interested in the community, please reach out to me directly. Again, I'm going to make sure to leave my email in the chat. And also, if you need any assistance, please free to also give us a call at our Brooklyn District Office. The number is 718-312-7575, and I will also make sure to leave it in the chat. That's all I have for today.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.
We have a question for you from Jerry Chan.
So I do have a question, right? You mentioned something that is very dear to my heart, cybersecurity,
Mhm.
right? Well, you speak of the congressman want to do stuff to protect the elderly and the benefit cards. Great. What is he doing? What is he doing to help pass the bill, right? So CISA get funded. CISA, for people that don't know, is a cybersecurity infrastructure agency that is not being funded right now. Though that agency is the one that set policies and set rules in the cybersecurity domains and prevent an attack. So when is he going to plan to fund that agency? That's my question.
No, that's a really good question, and I appreciate it. If you don't mind me just reminding me the name of the
CISA.
bill.
CISA.
Okay,
It's
CISA. To be fully frank with you, I don't have much information on that. I'm happy to share more information with you after this meeting. And you know, to let you know what the congressman is doing on supporting this bill. But I appreciate the question. I'm sorry that I cannot provide more information at the moment.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Sean Girl from Assemblymember Carroll's office, followed by Ray Morales from Senator Steve Chan's office.
Hello, everybody. This is Sean Girl representing Assemblymember Robert Carroll. I have two quick announcements today from Albany. The Assemblymember Carroll's Bill A3058 requiring repair scores for digital electronic equipment such as smartphones and appliances passed the Assembly today. This is a bill that would make all manufacturers of electronic equipment have to rate their product on a scale of repairability. So when you buy your phone, you can see, when this breaks, do I have to buy a new one or can I fix it? It passed the Assembly. It still has to get through the Senate, but we're very happy about that. And second thing is when I announce our Spring Clean and Green is coming up Sunday, May 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is our wonderful annual event at Park Circle down in the far bottom corner of Community Board 7. We'll have e-recycling, textile recycling, paper shredding, and a whole host of city agencies and organizations there. I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful day. Thank you, as always, Community Board 7, for having me.
Thank you. Ray Morales from Senator Chan's office.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, hi, everyone. Thank you, Julio. Thank you to all the members of CB7 and all those in attendance. I appreciate your time tonight. My name is Ray Morales. I'm here representing State Senator Stephen T. Chan, who is up in Albany, working on many, many different bills. On top of the list, of course, is what everyone's talking about is affordable energy. Working very hard with his colleagues to try to get some relief for energy customers. We have three events that I definitely want to make you aware of. We have our free application for New York senior housing that's happening in our district office March 26th from 3 to 5 p.m. For those of you who know, our district office is at 6605 Fort Hamilton Parkway. The next event we're having is pre-tax filing services, also on our district office. The next two dates for that would be March 25th and April 1st, and that's happening from 12 to 5 p.m. I highly recommend you call ahead of time to pencil in an appointment. The number is 718-333-0311. And the last event I want to make everyone aware of is our frauds and scams awareness presentation. That's happening on Thursday, April 16th, 2026 at Health Essentials, which is located at 6906 18th Avenue in Brooklyn. We're doing that in collaboration and partnership with TD Bank. On behalf of Senator Chan and myself, we want to wish everyone a happy Easter and a happy Passover. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you so much, Ray. Moving on to, I believe that was everyone on Zoom for elected officials. Moving on to the room. I see you, Emmett. Don't worry. Lacey from Borough President Reynosa's office. Lacey, I think this is your first time at CB7. Welcome. I mean, prepare. Jerry's going to have 4 questions for you.
Hi, everyone. It is my first time at CB7. I'm covering for Miguel, who you probably usually see because he's on leave right now. So I'm the legislative director for Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso. And a few announcements for you. You are all invited to the 2026 State of the Borough. It's going to be April 16th at the Brooklyn Museum. You can RSVP. There's flyers for all this stuff I left outside, and you can also RSVP on our website. It's brooklynbp.nyc.gov. We are also having a community town hall on March 24th called Every Road to Healing. It's a conversation about community-led solutions to safety and advancing survivor-centered policy. That's going to be from 6 to 8 at Borough Hall. We're also doing free tax prep for those of you who haven't done your taxes yet. If you're eligible, you can access free tax filing services with our volunteers at Borough Hall. You can make an appointment Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 4. There's no walk-ins. And then finally, someone before mentioned SNAP. We are also very alarmed by the new work requirements for SNAP that came into effect this month. We're not doing direct case support on these changes, but our constituent affairs team can provide you with more information on the various resources that are available to you. And we have some pretty detailed information on our website. And you can always reach our office at 718-802-3800. Questions? No? Oh, okay.
From Talisha.
Hi, I'm Tylisha. In the Bronx, some of the organizations are getting together to create or to publish volunteer opportunities. The economy right now, for those that might even be trying to seek employment to meet the requirement, is just not there for them to attain those positions. So I'm seeing that that's really working. Folks are positions on cabs, community advisory boards, those kind of things that would meet the requirement. Is that something that
Yeah, I think
office
there
is
might
willing
be
to
some
consider?
information on like the kind of things that qualify on our website, but it's something we've definitely been thinking about too.
But actively taking a role in organizing and publishing those opportunities. That's kind of the difference there.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
can take it back to our policy team. They're the ones working on that.
Thank you so much, Lacey. Mr. Watkins from DA Gonzalez's office, followed by Mr. Mendoza from Assemblymember Mateus's office.
Everyone. DA Gonzalez sends his well wishes. And I always like to inform that the DA, along with his team of almost 650 ADAs, work, it's really a 24/7 operation. No matter, what holiday or weekend, there are things, there's night court and so forth. So please know that the DA and his team of ADAs are very diligent in protecting the people, you all. Just a few things. I also like to encourage you to go to our website, brooklynda.org, and usually about 3 or 4 times a week, there's a press release that comes out that's published online, and I call that our kind of report card. Oftentimes, there are situations that occur, crimes that we read about every day, in the city and in the borough, and after a day or two, they go off the radar. And many times these things, are unheard of, for many weeks and sometimes years. What the press releases do is they show that once these crimes are adjudicated and prosecuted by the DA and the courts, that a report is put out, and it gives all the details about what has happened and the consequences for those that have created those crimes. So please go to our website, and usually you can on the drop down tab it'll say press releases, and you can see that information. Also, we have our action center. This is our own kind of 911 line where people can call and for crime and safety issues. The DA's office, we handle everything from animal cruelty, elder abuse, fraud, real estate, and also very importantly, immigration matters. That's something that's really very, very important to the DA and his team, especially in these times. There are all kinds of immigration issues that are coming up each and every day. And there's a dedicated team that the DA has created that focuses specifically on that. So our action center, I left cards out on the table. Please use that. And for crime and safety issues, things that you might even think are innocuous, you can call and get information and help. And if our office doesn't handle it, then they can refer you to the appropriate agency or office. The DIA also has a number of events that we have. Recently, we had our African American History event, and that was very well attended. And actually, this coming Monday, the DA is hosting for the Women's History Celebration event. And there are flyers out on the table for this. And the theme is the green thread, women's weaving justice with sustainable fashion. And they've created a new kind of twist to this one this year. And on the flyer, it'll tell you, it says light refreshments we serve, but that's not the new twist. The new twist is that says all attendees are encouraged to wear upcycled or vintage clothes. And so it'll be kind of a fun twist to celebrating women's history. We ask that you RSVP. The email information is on there as well. That's all I have for you right now. It's good seeing everyone, and thank you very much, and have a great evening. Thank you.
Emmett Mendoza from Assemblymember Matena's office. Did I miss any other reps? No. Okay.
Everyone, my name is Emmett. I'm the Chief of Staff for Assemblymember Matena's. So I'm happy to see a lot of familiar faces here again. Just a couple of updates. First and foremost, just want to give a report back on what's happening in Planet Albany. I know that my colleague here from Senator Granardis has shared some updates and the other electeds as well. But as you may all know, right now we're in budget negotiation process between a three-way. The Assembly member and her colleagues have submitted their one houses along with our Senate colleagues. So just a little report back on what is in our one houses right now. In regards to last year, if you guys remember, we passed the Housing Access Voucher Program to help house unhomed people living in shelter systems and people on the brink of homelessness. Right now, that funding is being used to move people from the shelter into affordable permanent homes. And in order to continuation for that, we have committed to adding another 250 million in this year's budget, 100 million for Michelama maintenance. We know on the edge of our district, right at the start of BQE, there's a couple of Michelamas, and so we know that'll be helpful for that. 50 million for Green Schools program, which will allow the purchase installation of energy efficient equipment, including heat pumps at residents, single family and multi-residential units, apartments, cooperatives, and condos. We have added a $200 million ask for the Build Public Renewables Act. We know right now there is a crisis with affordability with utilities. Unfortunately, the governor does want to roll back the CLCPA, which Assemblymember Martinez vehemently opposes. At the moment, right now, when utility rates are increasing a lot and we're on the brink of facing a climate catastrophe, we want to make sure that we're providing an alternative, greener pathway for our residents. That includes also, which we are proud to share that we have also included a 2-year moratorium on utility rate hikes for both electricity and gas in our one house. We're going to continue making sure that this gets included in the final budget, as well as a rebate check for people who meet the income requirements for these utilities as well. Additionally, there is a free bus pilot program for every borough that is included in our one house that we're going to continue pushing forward, as well as the EBT chip transition card. We know that a lot of families in our district, especially in our immigrant working class communities, have faced skimming for the last 4 years. So we are proud that the governor has put in investments to transition to include an electronic chip in the card. But we're also proud to share that there is also a $3 million compensation fund included in the One House to make sure that if there are any impacted families that may fall through the cracks, they are able to be compensated and made whole. Additional to that, we know that at the moment there is a issue with the car insurance industry. The governor has put in to seek and reduce auto rate insurance premiums by curtailing insurance company liabilities for car accidents in some circumstances. We are looking into into that proposal, and if you guys have any comments regarding that specific topic, feel free to contact me. And then lastly, I do want to share that we are organizing a community solidarity town hall and resource fair this Friday, in partnership with the New York Immigration Coalition and Chinese American Planning Council and our local electeds. There are a couple of flyers out there, but basically what it entails is we're bringing in city and state agencies along with some consulate services and legal support to bring them to the communities. But there will also be a town hall and a training on how to get involved in your local ICE watch, what to know your rights for people who make family members who may get detained, as well as any other opportunities to get involved locally with our local organizations here. So feel free to grab these. We're going to be at Friday at PS 94 in collaboration with Principal Gonzalez. We're really happy to see. Hopefully you guys could be there, and we're more than happy to take any questions and concerns at the moment too.
Question from John.
Hi, Emmett. Thanks for this. I had a question for you regarding the MTA item you mentioned. You mentioned that they're looking for funding for a free bus pilot in all 5 boroughs. Would that include a route that goes through our district? And then B, was there any other talk about other ways to improve the MTA, like expanding the ACE camera enforcement program? I'm thinking back to the talk about the school this morning, which one of the things in their letter was about blocked bus stops. And then also the the funding for this. We also need more buses, faster buses, etc. So I wonder if that was also included, because I know the MTA is state people.
Of course. I do want to share. So the thing about the free bus pilot program will be in one per borough, which will fall with which will depend on neighborhoods with the most economic means and highest riderships, which unfortunately might not be us, but we will continue to advocate to see if we could include ours. In regards to the ACE program, I believe one of our bus routes, I believe B11, recently just implemented the ACE program. That program was announced earlier last year and is fully being enforced now. We're more than happy to look at different routes, and if anyone in the community has any considerations of what other routes may be like along Fifth Avenue, we'll be more than happy to take them into consideration and advocate for them on behalf of the communities. And then fast free buses, we definitely are supporting that in the state budget as well. Yeah, because a lot of our constituents use public transportation, especially buses. Me too.
And then Jerry has a very quick question.
2 quick questions. MTA buses. I think we had this discussion a while back. I think the pilot program happened maybe 2 years ago, that they were giving free buses with the throughout the city, and then the money is actually coming from corporation last time, right? And I mentioned that most of the corporations, they left New York City, right? So where are we one, where we getting money from? Two, is are we the veterans? Are we getting half fare instead of free buses? Can we get half fare as veterans?
Your second question, we are supportive of the legislation. I believe there's a Senate and Assembly bill to do reduce fares for veterans. So we are signing on. We are co-sponsors for that bills, and we're more than happy to talk about how we can continue to push that through the Assembly and the Senate. In regards to the funding, it's coming out of the state budget.
Okay.
We're including funding for the free bus pilot right now.
Okay, and my last comment and question is, the chip program is great, but most of most of European places use it, except for United States. The reason the United States we don't use it because the system does not accept it. So if we are switching to that system, and the machine is still not taking the chip, it defeat the purpose. So you guys might want to look into that, and I could prove it too.
Yeah, definitely. So there is funding in the budget on the executive side to help transition our EBT cards into that technology. But definitely, if we could talk later and you share me the concerns of what you're seeing, then we'll be happy. Like, oh, sorry, with the executive branch as well.
Hey, Emmett. Same question as for Senator Gernaldez. Medicaid is a big thing in Sunset Park, given that I believe is the #1 community in terms of rate of Medicaid. So what your office is doing in terms of that, given that it wasn't included in either one budget, this Assembly and the Senate, and this is just also for all elected officials at the state level to have that in the radar as well.
Yeah, definitely. You are right. Unfortunately, it wasn't included in either one houses nor in the governor's proposal. The expectation, unfortunately, from leadership is that they want to wait until next year when the issue actually happens. The assembly member does have the firm stance that we do have to address it as soon as possible, especially in this year's budget. One concern that we also heard recently, when we had a meeting last week, was that also we're expecting to see a lot of people fall out with the new work requirements as well with Medicaid. So we are talking to some advocacy groups and with some legislators to see what we can propose in the Assembly and the Senate. But more than happy to talk more. My biggest concern too is like, especially folks who have like an HIV/AIDS status, like they're also going to be impacted. So we're trying to find ways of how we can include them as an exemption to the work requirement as well.
Thank you, Emmett. You can leave the hot seat today. You got all the questions.
Oh, one more thing. Happy National Women's Month and Happily Nutrition Month, and I believe Happy Social Work Month as well. Thank you.
And moving to the chair's report, actually very serendipitous about Social Workers Month. Do want to give a little shout out to fellow board member Joanna, who received her doctorate in social work, I believe, just recently. So little shout out to her. And
Thank you.
you're welcome. And we did not meet with EDC this month because of some scheduling issues, but we will be meeting with them the first Friday in April. I did also want to share EDC Batworks is seeking request for, I forget what RFEI stands for, but request for expressed interest in community partners for some of the projects that they're working on. It didn't make it in time for our newsletter. The deadline is March 24th, but if anyone is interested, we can share it. And it's, I think, important, as Katie mentioned, that community folks stay active, and particularly community organizations work with Batworks. And those are all of my announcements. And I will turn it to Maria.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I lied. I'm going to turn it to Pat for the remainder of the chair's report. Thank you.
As most of you are aware, we are in the process of not hiring, we're not hiring yet, but we've been working on a job description for the district manager's position. I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. If you have questions regarding the position, they do not go to the office. All those questions are to be referred to Cynthia Felix and myself. We expect to have the posting up in about 2 weeks by the Brooklyn Borough President's office. Details will follow from either Cynthia or myself. And That's about it. Can't get into any specifics just yet, but trust us, we're working on it. It's going to be great. And once it's posted, it will be up for 30 days. So anyone that's interested in applying, please do so. Let us know. Tell your friends. Good luck.
Question? Just wait for the microphone, wait for the microphone.
For the Friday, April for EDC, what time and date would that be?
I don't remember it off the top of my head. It's whatever that first Friday is, I think.
And again, can other board members join that meeting as well? Because I think we have that.
As of now, we're gonna limit it to committee leadership and the chair. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, Maria?
Okay, so I only have two announcements. The first announcement is, as of last month's board meeting, the board office received 7 new or renewal liquor licenses. They are in our binder in our office for anyone who's interested in looking through them. And the comp stats are at the table outside of the boardroom, so if anyone's interested, they can pick them up on your way out. That's it.
Thank you. Question from Katie Walsh.
We had the community member who came and spoke about BK Loft, and I was just curious in the context of talking about the licenses. I looked up BK Loft. It looks like there's like so many complaints on Google reviews. I don't know, 311 complaints. I mean, this is just Google reviews, but what happens with something like that? I mean, does that go to the Public Safety Committee? What are sort of the next steps if they're not like actively looking for a new liquor license?
Yeah, my assumption is that they would go to the Public Safety Committee, which is why we ask if you put in a 311 complaint specifically about an establishment that serves liquor or alcohol, to please forward those to us so that the Public Safety Committee is aware of it and can address it. And if it's just an event, your question is if it's just an event space, it's the same issue. Mhm.
The liquor licenses that we receive are forwarded to Cynthia Felix and to Jerry Chan for their review. We do try to keep a list of any locations where we've had complaints on, and we inform them of it. And if there are any issues on anything, on any of the liquor licenses that come before the board, they will review it, and then they will determine if they meet with the businesses itself.
Thank you. Moving on, is there any old business? Pat?
We're always referring to the minutes. I would like to go back to the old ways where we can have copies of the committee minutes for everyone in this room. Yes, community board members receive it electronically, but we have guests here. I don't know what is going on. So if we could go back to that the next month's meeting and on and on and on, it would be really appreciated. Thank you.
Any other old business? Any new business? John?
So this is something, it's kind of old, but also kind of new. If those of you remember, we had discussion in the Transportation Committee last year about the congestion pricing and how that went into effect. The MTA was looking for follow-up on that. They actually have a comment period about the draft mitigation plan, which is the result of the report that they promised, and they're looking for ways to, mitigate the some of the effects. So I encourage all you to look into that, to do the comments. The deadline is March 24th. I think it's in the newsletter, if I'm remembering right. But yeah, please do check that out if you have interest in that program, or if you want to let the MTA know your experience with congestion pricing.
Thank you, John. Is there any other new business? Okay, there being no other item on our agenda, our meeting is adjourned. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Oh, yeah.